Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Questions Clients Ask. This week is going to be a shorty, but it's actually a really good question, one that I hadn't even thought of telling you guys. So the question that came through this week is, does it matter what order your exercises are in your program at the gym? So I'll talk you through the importance of which exercises to do first, especially if the gym's really busy. We all know that sometimes, you get there and it's legs day for everyone. And you may need to change things around a little bit at the time. So when it comes to programming, if it is a good program, your heavy compound lifts, and when I say heavy compound lifts, I'm talking like squats, deadlifts, bench press, etc., will always be first. Now, why? Because they're compound movements, meaning that they're multi-joint movements, okay? So that they're working multiple muscles or muscle groups at any one time. Now, these movements are quite energy draining and usually quite taxing on the body as well. So they should always be done first. Now, squats or deadlifts would always be at the top, as they take the biggest hit to the energy system. So you should be performing those first. Now, ideally, you would go in order of largest exercise down to smaller accessory movements like maybe bicep curls or tricep extensions or something like that. Now, these movements are far less energy taxing and should really ideally be placed last or after those big heavy compound movements are finished. So exercise order, guys, is a part of programming, good exercise programming. It's why people who follow them actually get really good results. Now, if you're just starting out or you're getting back into training, it's a little bit less important. Your body will generally grow quite quickly as it's probably not really used to what you're putting it through now that you're training. So a program out of a magazine or something like that would be better than no program at all. And you would see some results in the short term if you're beginning or going back to training. Now, if you're finding you're at the next level of your training, which I know most of my followers are, and they want specific results like, continued muscle growth and reduced body fat, aka results, not a plateau, it's important to have a structured program, okay? All my girls have, they've got a personalized program aimed for their specific needs. We look at their body, the certain body parts maybe that they'd like to place a little bit more focus on, and then I can support them in building a program in that way, okay? We do work all the body, even if there is a specific body part, to just make sure that there's symmetry and strength all over as well. So what happens if you go to the gym, your first workout is squats and all the squat racks are taken, and it's, probably 15 minutes before another squat rack is free. What I would do is go to the next compound movement in your program. Maybe you've got overhead press, another large movement, which is usually the first 2 or 3 exercises in your program. Now, as I mentioned, it's not ideal all the time, but it can be done on the odd occasion. And you know what? It's okay to do it in the odd occasion. It can be good for you. The universe isn't going to absolutely fall apart if you had to do it like this every once in a while, particularly if you're in a rush and you really can't afford to wait the 15 minutes until your squat rack is free. Now, I don't recommend starting at the bottom of your program, like where the bicep curls are, and working your way up to squats. Your muscles are going to be fatigued before you get to those large movements, meaning that you won't be able to handle quite as big load with your weights as you might have normally. So remember, we're working towards a weekly progression, guys. Every workout, we need to progress. It's really important to be able to increase your weights and maybe increase by a rep even every single workout. Your best bet is performing in a way where your energy is being used in the most effective way possible, and starting with the smaller muscle groups is not going to provide that efficiency. Now, once your compound movements are out of the way, you feel free to hit those accessory muscles like I was talking about, like your bis and your tris and stuff like that. Now, all that sort of stuff, like even your abs, hit those groups last. If you're doing your own programming, just keep in mind that your compound movements are using multiple muscles. Okay, so there may be some fatigue in places. For example, if you do a barbell bench press, expect some fatigue in not only your pecs or your chest, but also your triceps and your shoulders as well. Okay, so once again, it won't hurt here and there, but a properly structured program will take advantage of muscle fatigue like this. If you've been training in a gym for 12 months or more, you should definitely have a program designed specifically for you. Now, I generally work no further than 9 weeks in advance with your rep ranges, making sure that we're changing them every 3 weeks, and there's updates every 3 weeks to ensure that your body is adapting how it should be. And I do speak about rep ranges and the importance of these things in other episodes on my channel. I will have a link to another video below, but feel free to have a binge watch. You're going to learn something from every single video that I post, whether you think the title relates to you or not. All right, guys, that is it for another week of questions clients ask. If you have any questions like this that you would like answered, feel free to shoot me a message. Feel free to shoot me a DM. And the same goes if you're interested in finding out how I can actually support you with programming for your training specifically, and helping you with your nutrition without restrictions so that you can build muscle and lose fat. So guys, please send me an email if that is of interest. My email address is hello@ashlane.com.au. But until next week, have a great week.